Welcome, everyone, to That Kind of Nerds podcast, a weekly show that tells you what is going on in the nerdy world. I am CJ Mellon, joined, as always, by Josh Burns and Brian Thornton.
What up?
Naps are great.
Naps are great.
Naps are great.
I just had a great nap. I'm also 90.
Well, never mind. I'm sorry, you're also 90? What is that supposed to mean?
It means I'm old.
But, like, if you're taking naps at 90, there's a chance you're not waking up.
There's a chance I'm not waking up at 31 either, so...
Listen, we love to talk about a lot of things going on in the nerdy world, but I have one topic I just can't pigeonhole into a segment, so I just figured we'd lead with it, because it's about the wonderful world of music, and that is, of course, about Weezer's cover of Africa, which Josh Burns has not stopped listening to or talking about. So, Josh, tell me how the internet, of all things, made this happen.
It started as a campaign from a fan basically saying, you guys should totally... it was a fan account at Weezer Africa, and it was just about getting Weezer to record this cover. So what they did was instead they did a lesser-known Toto song, Rosanna, which is also amazing.
Rosanna.
And then a week or two later, released Africa with a tweet by... what was it, like Rivers or one of them? It was like it's about time you bless the rains or whatever. So it was really good. It was so good, in fact, that they played at a like a Jimmy Kimmel Live event, and I actually thought that the live version was better than the studio, but I have not been able to stop listening. It's so good.
It not only holds true to the original, that if you know the original really well, you'll really appreciate this, but they still add that Weezer flair to it.
Yeah, you can definitely tell it's Weezer, for sure.
And you're just like, how do you guys do that? I guess you all went to Harvard, so I guess that you're pretty darn smart. It's beautiful. It's a great cover, and I also highly recommend it as well.
I still prefer the Jeffster version.
Oh, and what's funny is the live one got like me so jazzed up the other night that I had to go on YouTube and find the Jeffster version and listen to that as well, because I don't think there's a bad way. Like, if you can do it true to the original, I don't think there's a bad way to cover Africa. Like, if you mean it, right. I want to listen. I want to listen to you sing it.
And for those of you who don't know what Jeffster is, stop what you're doing and go watch all of Chuck.
All of it.
And then come back and be like, thank you guys, that was awesome. So please go watch Chuck.
You really should just thank me, because I introduced it to all of you.
That's true. I still don't I don't see how, when this song comes on the radio, how you don't end up, and I was driving down the road, windows down, sunroof open, blaring Africa at an unreasonable level, and just like, how do you, when it comes to the chorus, how do you not just belt it out? Like, how do you not scream, it's gonna take a lot to drag me away from you? Like, how do you not do that?
Sorry.
I mean, I don't go falsetto with it, but I don't
want to belt it out. I'm in the middle of my house.
The palatial estate doesn't have its own recording studio? Well then, ladies and gentlemen, as we also know, I love to go on the internet. I like to find the weird, I like to find the obscure, and then I ask these two gentlemen for a tech perspective. And starting this week is a throwback to the 90s, but now with a 2000... It's a modem sound. Ooh. I think you also, dropped a spoon during your modem dialogue.
Became a Wookiee for a moment there.
Tech perspective. You're on the internet. All right, anyway, let's punch it. So Pogs, I mean, if you remember this from the 90s, kudos to you.
I still have mine.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Wow.
They're in a closet somewhere.
That is a special kind of hoarding.
I was going to say, that is incredibly sad. Do you need help?
No, but I would love to play a game with you guys.
I'm not getting hustled by the likes of you.
Yeah, no, no. We're not playing for Pogsies. No.
I knew dudes who had money invested.
Oh, yeah.
And this was an acceptable form of childhood gambling.
Absolutely. It was
a gateway to the football tickets. It was very close to the parlay. I mean, this was you graduated from Pogs into football parlays.
Well, they are coming back in a big way, actually, through Indiegogo, my favorite place to go ahead and find campaigns that are probably never going to come true and take all your money. But they're coming through with a new AR experience, so you will have those physical pogs. Now, you still have the physical pogs, Josh, but now you also have an added layer of augmented reality to them.
Is your phone the slammer? Boom! Fuck! I need to get a new iPhone.
Oh, that's great.
I don't know, but here's the deal. For $20, right, you get the Gold Founder Slammer, which will never be released again. Once this campaign is done and they are sold out, it is gone forever. So it's a way for you to kind of get in with that. You also kind of get some early access to other things within the kind of the world of Pogs. I think really the AR is just about the collectible aspect of it and not actually like having to like keep your Pogs on you at all times, like you're in 6th grade with a Trapper Keeper. So I mean, it's interesting.
That was like half the fun was displaying your pog.
Yeah.
Your pog. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
seeing them
bring out a giant tube.
Yeah,
filled
a giant
with these nice
tube.
little cardboard discs.
People are going, "What is that giant tube?" You're like, it's just my pogs.
Are those your pogs, Josh? Or are you just happy to see me?
Listen, I had a Gold Founder Slammer long before Indiegogo. Is all I'm saying.
Well, I mean, what was cool about Pogs too was kind of like what you just talked about, which was the culture of them, right? Some of them were, a little more, I wouldn't say R-rated, but they weren't necessarily meant for kids, and you would always kind of see who has the coolest one.
There was some garbage pail-y type, garbage pail kid type humor in there. Sure.
I definitely know my school banned them at one point. You were not allowed to play Pogs.
They banned them not because...
Wait a minute. What school?
My school banned them too.
No, I get it, but I'm wondering.
Iggy's.
I mean, what were you in like 3rd grade playing with Pogs?
Probably.
I was probably in 4th, 5th.
Yeah, I had older brothers, Josh. So you gotta remember that. So
No, I'm thinking like me and Mike probably had them in 92, 93. Is that right?
No. It's a little later than that.
95?
Maybe like 95, 96, I think.
That's even
All right.
after 20. I don't know when Pogs actually like hit mainstream now.
To the Pog Wikipedia.
Pogs. There is a Pogopedia, but it's not as good as the Muppet Eyes.
They're watching you.
93. It was kind of like when they.
Yeah, I had it about right.
October 94. Yeah.
Yeah, so Mike and I would have been in 7th grade, like 7th, 8th grade, which would have put you in what, 2nd? Right?
Around that time, yeah, I think you're correct.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. Like if they, that's crazy.
Here's my thing.
It seems crazy to me. They're banning Pogs for pieces of cardboard. Why do they ban them?
Because kids were playing them all the time,
gambling.
All the day.
We went to a conservative Catholic school. Gambling, it's the only reason why they. You children are having fun, aren't you? Yes, we are.
Stop
I'm going
doing
to ban whatever you're having fun with. Go learn math before we change it.
Listen, come over here. Now sit, stand, kneel. Stand, sit, stand, sit, stand, sit, kneel, stand,
Eat
kneel.
Eat this cracker. Get out of here.
Right.
All right. The thing about Pogs, which is why I was terrible at it, was the fact that you played for keeps. Right? That I was awful at this. Terrible.
You were that
my
kid
favorite
who I would
part
take
about it.
all of their
Of course
Pogs.
it was your favorite part, Josh, but playing for keeps for me always meant I lost everything.
Did nobody teach you to play jacks when you were kids?
I'm sure they did.
Jacks is playing for keeps, man. You're rolling dice and snacking jacks. That's it.
But there was no collectible jacks. You're not
that's why Pogs were so great, right? Because it wasn't it wasn't a repeatable thing. With jacks, I just snatched them all and I keep winning. With Pogs, you can't play anymore. You have to go the fuck home. And I get to keep playing with all your Pogs.
That's how Josh runs the poker table too.
I did have a friend who got salty and went to the parents about the Pogs.
I believe it.
Awful. You lost your Pogs. You lost them. Why do I have to give them back? They're mine now. It's fair.
I have mine. So right now they have a goal of $50,000 in order to be fully funded. At the time of this recording, they have raised $12,573 with only 19 days left at the time of this recording, which is Friday. So I don't know. It does not look good in the sense of getting funding for this. So this may not become a reality. But at least they're thinking about coming back in some weird way, adding the modern flair to it with augmented reality. I guess the other thing is this, Josh, for the play for keeps aspect of it, when you put the AR element into it, if you lose the Pog like digitally in a game, like there's no way to give backsies. You can't possibly do that. You've lost your ones and zeros and they're going to the other account.
Well, that's the right way to do it.
Right.
I also totally feel like Brian's a super Pog hustler, and I'm never playing Pogs with him.
Never. Absolutely no way in hell. Which makes me think that there could be like some black market Pog game.
Like
with
you
Brian.
you spend like the first 10 minutes, right? Brian has his whole tube. You spend the first 10 minutes, Brian's like, oh, you've bested my swordsman. Right? And you're like, I have a whole new tube of Pogs.
I feel good about this. I used to suck at Pogs.
And then he takes out like an industrial size like Yeti cooler full of
Listen, guys.
full of racks of tubes of Pogs.
He pulls out a briefcase that glows like Pulp Fiction.
He goes full on Teddy KGB from Rounders, and he just fucking restacks.
My briefcase has like those little shelves in it, and you just kind of like the long like rows.
Right.
Like it's
so basically the same
like
thing that I use to carry Oreos.
It's all in the wrist, guys. It's all in the wrist.
It's all in the hips.
Never. Oh, Jesus Christ. Happy. I'm never ever playing Brian and Pogs. Not ever.
Never. It's never happening. Nope. So moving on to our next topic here is surrounding Amazon Prime. And the article is fantastic, which it says, if you're not using these Amazon Prime features, you're not getting your money's worth. Josh, you took a look at this article. I'm curious to get your thoughts on some of these features that they're talking about and see what's actually worth your time and, more importantly, your money.
Hold on, Josh, before you answer.
Oh, okay.
Who found this article, CJ?
I think Brian did.
Oh, Brian found it? Good. Fantastic.
Oh, yeah. Just saying.
I didn't credit Josh.
No, I'm not the finder of these things. I'm actually already using quite a few of these things. This is a really good find, Brian, and there's a bonus in here to not just saving money, it's actually taking back some of your time. So this is right up our alley. It's something we've talked about a bunch of times, and beyond the free shipping, which everybody knows, you pay $120, you get free shipping. That's why I have a box coming to my house every day, right? Because it's free to ship. Prime Photos is something that I have started using for specific devices that is free. It's totally free, unlimited photo upload. It is compressed. It's a good way to have a backup of a backup of a backup. Please,
right? So take all your Google photos,
yeah,
and
please
throw them up to Amazon.
Yeah, please check that out because it's just a good stopgap, right? So obviously everybody uses the Prime Now features, which is great, but like it's only available in certain places. Prime Now is good, you get it quickly, whatever. The thing that I really want everyone to start looking at is food and paper products, food, pantry, things like that. Things that you can subscribe to that get delivered to you on a regular basis, things, staples that you always have in your pantry, wherever, around your house, in your cabinet, your cupboard. I don't know what you call it, you crazy people. Your garage? What do you guys? Car hole. Wherever you keep your stuff, take an inventory and start subscribing. You're going to see, in my experience, somewhere between 8 and 12% saved. And you didn't have to drive anywhere for it. You didn't have to spend time getting it. You didn't have to spend fuel on it. There are ancillary savings that over time add up. That's a big deal. Coming soon, discounts at Whole Foods. Like I shop at Whole Foods a lot because there's one near me, and why wouldn't you? The entertainment stuff is great. The thing I found most intriguing, CJ, is the Prime Reading, which I don't have any experience with, but I did not know that it's very much like a library card where you can keep up to 10 titles at a time.
Oh, wow.
So for people who are Kindle app users, this is a really big deal.
Do they allow any kind of audiobook with that as well?
I don't see audiobook. I just see library.
I will take a look and see what's available.
And so that was one of those things that I didn't even know. Not an avid reader, but people in my house are, and we do use the Kindle app. So that's something that I may encourage Laura to look into. But there are quite a few features here that I mentioned that are time saving, cost saving, and just plain convenient. If you're already a Prime subscriber, you should be looking into these. And if you're not, you may want to look into just what subscribing to Prime and getting some of these cost savers would earn you over the year. It might pay for your membership. I really think it might.
Yeah, another aspect for Amazon membership that I thought was also intriguing was Amazon Household. Because previously you could kind of share your Amazon Prime with anybody, but Amazon started cracking down on that and it became frowned upon. So now Amazon has launched a service called Amazon Prime Household. And what this allows you to do is to add another adult, 4 teens, and 4 children. The only catch is that you have to enable shared payments between the 2 adults in order to get all the benefits. It's actually incredible. The second adult that you add gets the Prime shipping, Prime Now, Amazon Fresh, Prime Video. It gets the photos. It gets Audible channels. It gets everything that you would normally get with Amazon Prime. And then for like teenagers, they get the same thing. They just don't necessarily they need approval in order to purchase things. But you get stuff like Twitch and Prime Video. And then of course, if you have kids that are younger than 12, you can add them onto the Kindle Free Time service, which is a great way to kind of monitor what your children are doing and limit the amount of access they have to content. It's fantastic. It's incredibly easy. I'll include a link in the show notes as to how you can actually do that. From our research, I haven't found an additional cost to this. It's just included with your Amazon Prime membership. So it's a great way to help with maybe somebody else splitting those costs or just kind of getting some added benefits without having to everyone have the same Amazon login information. Everyone can have their own separate logins.
Brian, why does CJ love this so much?
Because it saves them money.
Yeah, it saves him money. It saves him money.
I find my brother and be like, hey, guess what? What? We are splitting Prime. We're already paying $2 for Netflix. Let's cut that Prime price in half.
Just going to Venmo you everything I spend. We're going to use your credit card, and I'm going to Venmo you.
No, I remember we have to do I guess you're right. The shared
payment.
Yeah, it's only one credit card.
Right.
Yep.
So you're going to have to Venmo your brother.
I'll Apple Pay him right there in iMessage. Hey, I spent $30. Boop. There you go. Boop. Back and forth. You kidding me? This is happening. I'm surprised. You know what? I may reach out to one of you. Hey, Josh. Hey, Josh.
That's not going to happen.
No. You get your dirty, frugal hands away from my Prime membership.
I will support a lot of things. I will not enable this behavior. That's not going to happen.
So, listen, I love how every once in a while, we just find some new stuff with Amazon Prime that's definitely worth bringing to your attention. So,
the gift that keeps on giving.
They're constantly innovating this service, which is crazy. And really, I only glossed over the subscriptions and Amazon Pantry. You people need to look into that stuff. It's pretty awesome.
So if you are a Prime subscriber and you have a best practice or a tip or something that saved you not only grief and aggravation, but it saved you time and saved you money, let us know. Let us share that hack essentially with the fellow listeners. So email us at podcast@thatkindofnerd.com or hit us up on Twitter. Tell us some of your Amazon hacks, and we'd love to share them with everybody. Now it is time to move on to the world of movies and TV in a segment that we love to call Screen to Screen. I have feelings about this topic, which is Donald Glover and Ryan Gosling are top of the list to play Willy Wonka in a remake / prequel? To which I asked, why? No.
Yes, no. Okay, let's... Please. All right, hang on. Let me recount this discussion. CJ, why are they remaking something? Josh, well, it's going to make money, so it should be remade. CJ, I'm mad. I love Willy Wonka. It doesn't matter. They're going to remake it, so let's just bypass all that. You're just going to have to be okay with the fact that they're going to remake it. Okay?
Well, hello there, ugly one. You're looking very Mickey Outy today.
So if they are going to remake Willy Wonka, which if they do, that's fine. I'll go see it. I think both of these guys would do great.
These two would be great.
They both know how to sing, which means I could possibly get an actual musical.
No, listen, Ryan Gosling can carry a tune. He's not as good a singer as Donald Glover and other people are. Like, he actually he's okay.
I'm sure he could do fine.
Right. I think his singing is good enough to like, look, we can all say Ryan Gosling is a better actor than Donald Glover. Like, that's right. So, like, the diversity he has and the range he has in acting will more than make up for he's not as good a singer as Donald Glover. Like, I'm okay with that. Donald Glover's he's a professional recording artist. My point
about the singing is I will get a movie closer to what the original was.
I agree.
Yeah. Which was technically kind of a musical. That was my point. I didn't expect to hear all this animosity towards Ryan Gosling and his beautiful, wonderful, make angels cry voice.
Face. I was going with face.
Oh, that too. His face as well.
Well, here's the other question, though. Depending on where they're going with this, are we sure it's actually going to be a musical? Are we sure there's going to be?
Well,
we don't know. But
I think that Brian's point is that these two actors specifically make it a total possibility.
Well, to be fair, the other person on the short list is Ezra Miller.
I've never heard him sing, but maybe he can.
Who knows? So
I don't care for Ezra Miller as an actor. I'd rather have one of these two guys.
I agree.
Way
with
more
you
charismatic. Yeah,
I agree with you in the broad sense. Yes, since this movie is going to happen, yes, Donald Glover, Ryan Gosling are the good picks for it, and I would prefer Ryan Gosling over Donald Glover, but just by a little bit, not by much. The only thing I hope it's not, real quick, is I don't want an origin story of Willy Wonka. I don't want to know what he was like as a little kid. I don't want to know how.
Oh no, that would be stupid.
Parents were thrown in a molasses pit, and that's why he has a big chocolate. Like, I don't give me any of that. Just give me that story and just redo it for contemporary times. Do not try to tell me anything about Willy Wonka's childhood. Fuck off. I don't care about that.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of where that Charlie and the Chocolate Factory movie kind of blew as well.
Yeah.
I didn't need any
I get
of that
it. He was a
backstory.
dentist. Wonderful.
Yeah. I just want a crazy millionaire to say, golden tickets, it's inside chocolate, find that shit and come to my house. Like, that's all I want. So Josh, this when you told me this, I really thought you were messing with me. You are a huge fan of the Netflix original series Queer Eye.
Yeah, because it's amazing and uplifting and hopeful and happy and everything that's good in the world. Did you not watch the original series on Bravo?
I did, but I don't remember it at all.
Okay, so I watched probably every episode of Queer Eye for the Straight Guy on Bravo. And as like a guy in his mid to late 20s, super helpful, right? Just in the fashion and grooming and, just general life advice, because it was an amazing show. But, I don't know, last year, early this year, can't remember when, Netflix released Queer Eye as an original series with 5 new individuals who are amazing people and brilliant. And there's not just, all Jonathan does is grooming, because there's an element to each of them that is so personal and so insightful and so caring that, look, most of these episodes, I'm just going to sit there, watch, and I'm just going to ugly cry, because they're so good. They're so good. And they're helping people and they're transforming lives, even in the temporary. You never know whether or not people stick with any of this stuff, but it's like a home makeover show that also makes over your body, mind, and soul. And it's unbelievable. It's so good. Everyone needs to watch this.
And they're announcing their second season right now. Is that
not
is that
just
why
announcing? It came out today. I started watching episode 1 today.
This is going to go on Brian's list of stuff that he'll totally watch someday, but just not right now.
I've already watched the first season.
Did you really?
Yeah, I have a girlfriend who loves this stuff.
It's so good, CJ. My God.
So I will most likely be watching the second season as well. I mean, I never watched the original show on Bravo. It happened to be on in my presence this first season of Queer Eye, and it's Yeah, it's actually not bad. It's actually very emotional. I don't cry at shows.
Sure. Okay.
So I'm not gonna ugly cry.
I cry at trailers. So,
but yeah, I mean, it's very informative, and I have not changed my lifestyle at all. But I probably should.
I mean, just watch. Like, especially between like Anthony and Jonathan with the cooking tips and the grooming tips, you could learn quite a lot in there, Brian.
I know. I'm also told that the guy in the first episode remarried his ex-wife after sticking with this stuff.
See, that's amazing right there.
Yeah, I knew you'd get excited, Josh.
That was so good. It's so good. So good.
All right, so it sounds like something you should add to your watch list if you haven't, and then
do not download this and watch it on a flight. Don't do it.
Oh,
you could ugly cry on the plane. Is that what you're saying?
That I'm saying that altitude changes emotions sometimes. Like I've seen people uncontrollably crying for no reason on a plane.
Well, I mean, I do that because I'm thousands of feet in the air.
No,
and
just
flying
like
makes no sense. You're in a tube, and
they're watching a thing with tears streaming down their face, but they're just wiping them off casually. Like it's not a. You can tell this 6'7" man shouldn't be ugly crying, and he is. And I think altitude has something to do with it.
I think you should take a poll. I think you should do a double blind study. You fly enough, you can do
grab somebody. Yeah, just grab somebody on a plane. Are you sad? Why are you crying? Because you're yelling.
Just right as they're getting off the plane. You know, you get the nice goodbye from the pilot and the hey, bye. It was really nice. We're all alive. That's great. And then Josh going like, how sad are you? On a scale of 1 to 10, where were the other drugs going?
Someone sits down next to you. Hi, hey. Ready for the flight today? Yeah. Do you mind if I ask you a couple questions? Have you said goodbye to your family today? Did you give them all the love and affection that they deserve? Are you making every day count? Are you sure your legacy is secure?
This is what we want to do.
If not, Queer Eye, I think you should watch Queer Eye right here on Netflix. I think you should. I think you get some.
If I'm that guy sitting next to the plane answering those questions, like I need to get the fuck off this plane.
Right.
The guy's like, yeah, I have. I'm the marshal on this flight too. You're coming with me. Anyway. We've derailed enough. I have one more thing for Netflix, and I found this article, and it's so true for what I want now. Is there's Netflix? Please add a commentary option, and it's one of the main draws for buying DVD or digital downloads with the extended special features on iTunes. Is I like to listen to the commentary. But I'm also a cheap bastard and don't like to pay for lots of different things. So sometimes I like to watch a movie and I would love a commentary track on it. Or something that you could update that's different from the DVD that was released in 2006. You could do a more modern one. I think this is something that people who love movies a lot, who stream a lot,
have that.
Do that.
It's called Mystery Science Theater 3000, Season 4.
But that's not adding a commentary that's like people talking while you're watching the movie who are hilarious and you should listen to them, but it's not like
right. But if I'm watching a movie from 2006, odds are that's what I'm gonna do to it. So you should really rethink.
Well, for instance, Christopher Nolan is notorious for not doing DVD commentaries. The only one that he did was one for Memento, and then he never did them again. And if one day he wakes up and goes, I would like to talk a little bit about working with Heath Ledger on The Dark Knight, or I really would like to talk a little bit about what I did here for Inception. I would like to hear that. And if anyone's going to compel a filmmaker, Nolan's a bad example because he hates Netflix. It's Netflix. So, like, they've got the power to grab some of these filmmakers and say, this is something that maybe a couple, nerds would like, or there could be a couple people who would watch your movie that, haven't watched in a long time. You get some extra money. Record a commentary, put it out there.
Isn't this something that would be like a better carrot for digital downloads? Because couldn't you update that more easily? You know what I mean? Like studios would never go for Netflix having this option ever.
Yeah, but I mean, like, so I downloaded a Baby Driver on iTunes, right? Paid the extra money for the super awesome deluxe whatever edition it was. And there is a commentary track on it with Edgar Wright, which is pretty cool. But there are other movies that I have downloaded.
iTunes extras get updated.
I didn't know that. I have never. Well, the thing is, I've never revisited an iTunes. Extra downloaded.
If they add to it, if there's another, you know how like sometimes you have like a movie that gets released and then you Blu-ray this edition, that edition, this edition.
Right, add that with Top Gun. Yeah,
iTunes Extras updates those. So like it's already built into iTunes. I don't see the need for Netflix.
Well, it's for people like me who don't want to buy the movie, but would probably watch it and stream it a couple extra times to listen to content.
And why would the studio cater to those people? Like, I don't. Brian? Am I fucking?
No.
Crazy?
From a business sense, you're absolutely right. It's a nerd wish list. Like, it's not practical at all. It's not pragmatic. It's just something I would like.
I think CJ just answered your question.
Look, I was self-aware and knew what was going on.
At first when you I saw the note and I didn't read the article and I thought if Netflix adds, I was thinking of it as a comment section and I thought this would very quickly become a Reddit, ridiculous subreddit.
That would be awful.
Section. Right. So that's the way I took it. And then now in context, it's still just as bad an idea, but
yeah,
only financially.
Only the thing that matters the most.
That's kind of what I'm saying. Yeah.
So the last bit of Screen to Screen is a trailer that came out of nowhere for me, which is a new series on Showtime starring none other than Jim Carrey. It's called Kidding, and to me, it kind of feels like it feels like it's going to take a really dark twist really quickly, and I don't know how. But it feels like a weird alter Mr. Rogers show, and like the person who's running it maybe a little.
I don't know about alter. I watched this trailer and I thought this is the Jim Carrey that CJ's been wanting. This is like this raw nerve Jim Carrey. And it seems like an entertainer that got into the business of educating children, and never really grew as an individual, developed his own identity, and he doesn't know who he is if he's not doing this thing, is how the trailer plays, and he's a broken man, which
so
Jim Carrey can play.
He plays a character who goes by the name Mr. Pickles. His name is Jeff, but Mr. Pickles is his persona.
Jeffrey Pickles!
He's been a guy who's just been on the television for many years, basically working with puppets and fairy tales, and just can't adjust to real life, right? Like when real life and difficulties and things are coming, he just doesn't know how to adapt. And I think that's an interesting topic, and I think it's an interesting thing to see. And if anyone can pull it off, it's Jim Carrey, because I feel that's a little self-referential for what's been going on in his life for the past couple of years.
I got to tell you, if Robin Williams were still alive,
oh hell yeah, yep, 100%,
perfect.
Yep.
So again, I'm reaffirming my concerns for Jim Carrey. It's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm there yet, but I'm definitely intrigued to see what this project does. It's coming out September 9th on Showtime, which means I got to figure out how I'm going to get Showtime.
Is this a mini series or a series?
It's from what I've gathered, it sounds like a real series.
Yeah, I don't see.
Which is odd. I don't think I've seen Jim Carrey in a series since In Living Color.
Nah, but I can't see how you stretch this concept for multiple seasons.
No, I
this
agree.
Is like a 13 episode once and done interesting story.
I agree with you.
So I'm behind that.
I don't know. Anywho, there's my 2 cents.
Probably worth watching though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, definitely worth watching, but not long term.
I have some qualms, CJ, with your Peter Jackson Mortal Engines.
Thank you.
Oh, the fact that it's the Doctor Who episode thing?
No. I'm fine with that. Although you did say it was a space turtle and it was a whale. That was weird.
Sorry.
Because not a turtle, but a whale. Brian gave this really sort of, you went all steampunk, right? And Brian gave this sort of description about cities on wheels and a journey that culminates in a battle between armies. I thought there may be like 5 armies. I'm not sure. There could be 5. It might be 5 armies. It might not be 5 armies. But there's certainly a journey to take on a big bad that culminates in a battle with multiple armies. And I thought, no, nobody loves that story at all. Right? That's definitely not going to be a trilogy.
That's sarcasm.
Correct. I know.
So what I'm saying is, I'm with you in the a little overboard on the steampunk. It's a little overboard. I'm with Brian on the it's Peter Jackson, and this is going to be a trilogy.
Yeah,
and it's going to culminate in a battle of 5 armies, or a return of something.
Or two towers or some other structures.
There will be a journey. There will be, you will form a love for these characters. You'll have the main sort of focal point young person who has a sidekick of some sort. Like, listen, it's going to be a familiar story. Peter Jackson only does the one thing, really.
Yeah, and again, just like Brian said when we were talking about, Willy Wonka, my perspective has always just been fanboy reaction, knee-jerk reactions right off the top, and just that's what you get with me. And the pragmatic fact of, yes, Peter Jackson will obviously make a franchise, it'll make a shit ton of money, and they will keep making it because Peter Jackson. That's just kind of the given, and I would like to live in a world where I don't have to deal with that.
It was the only moment last week where driving,
you're yelling
the podcast and driving. I was yelling like it's the same formula. It's going to work.
Yep. Oh, Hollywood. Oh, Hollywood. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to look at the world of comics. How it's affecting TV, how it's affecting movies, but most of all, how it's affecting Brian. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Cape Talk.
Cape Talk. Joshua.
Yes, sir.
You weren't here last week, so we need to discuss this very quickly. Joshua.
Yes, sir.
If I'm going to have to see this Teen Titans Go movie.
Absolutely, you should see it with the Burns clan.
There's okay, I humbly request that I see it with the Burns clan.
Because at the very
only
least,
way I will get enjoyment out of it.
You'll be able to enjoy the children enjoying it.
Yes.
Because they will be laughing their asses off.
Okay. All right.
Can't you just buy a ticket and not go watch it?
I'm not going to buy a ticket and not go see a movie.
No, that's dumb. Yeah,
that's dumb.
Go to another movie. I bought my Teen Titans ticket, but I'm going to go watch Tag.
I don't think that's how movies work. I thought I was compelled to see the movie that is printed on the ticket.
Well, you're also not supposed to bring, Kung Pao Chicken and Red Robin into movies, but
that's a suggestion. That's not a rule.
Regarding some Cape Talk stuff, follow up from last week, I wanted to address Superman World's Finest. I'm on record saying I don't want to play video games. I'm not interested in video games. I know that like Arkham Asylum and that series was life-changing for Brian, and as much as I want to play it, I would need Christian to actually like do the heavy lifting there. And
if you would like, Josh, I would love to spend a weekend at your house, and I'll just play through the entire series for you.
And I'll just watch.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
But I feel like a Superman game would be far more wholesome than the Arkham Asylum game was, and probably okay for Christian. At least I'm hoping it will be. And if that's the case, this is something that I would invest money in. Beyond that, from last week, there was a bunch of talk about Jared Leto and all the possibilities for Joker appearances and whatnot. And my only thought is give me all of the Jared Leto. It just as if you can give me more Jared Leto than you were planning to give me, I'll probably be happier than I was planning to be. So let's do that. Just all the Jared Leto, all the time.
I have two things to say to that. One, Josh, I will make this sacrifice for you. And on the day that Superman game comes out, I will play through it as quickly as possible. And I will give you my, is this safe for Christian review?
That'd be awesome.
I got you. Secondly, I like Jared Leto. I do. And I feel you. I even liked his version of Joker, as I stated last week. I just don't think he had the greatest script.
Not great quality, right?
My argument is not that I don't want to see more Jared Leto. My argument is that there's too many movies coming out on the DC side that is villain-slated, villain-centric, Joker-centric, and we haven't even seen this Joker on the screen with Batman, and that's my problem.
They're still living in Heath Ledger's shadow, which is unfortunately something they're never going to be able to overcome. So they're trying to, I believe they're trying to pepper us with looks of a different Joker that sort of makes you go, we've done a different thing, and you should look at this thing instead, and not forget it, but like move on. I think that's what this is about. For me, I'm not sure there's anything that can ever eclipse Christopher Nolan's Joker with Heath Ledger. So, right. I mean, try as you may, right? But I do feel that's what they're doing. That's all.
So, some other news then that we can get excited about, we can all agree on, is that Vans is partnering with Marvel to make some really awesome superhero sneakers. I was on Instagram looking for some of these. I saw someone who had gotten the Captain Marvel shoes. They looked fantastic. I asked the person if they were dissatisfied and just to send them to us then. We'll gladly take them off our hands. But she said, no, they look amazing. There's no chance you're getting your hands on them. So I tried. I really tried. So Brian, you need to buy some Vans sneakers.
I'm really confused, CJ. Do you not have the capability to buy shoes? Do you just not have feet to wear the shoes?
Don't have feet, I want to say.
Oh, okay. I really want some of these Vans. Here's the problem with Vans in general and these Vans in particular. Some of these things with like the prints on them are really cool looking, but I don't wear the things required in the rest of my body to match those things. So
I don't understand. I don't understand what you're saying. What do you
not have clothes or arms or a torso?
I have clothes, but so if you're looking at the link, you see these even the Spider-Man high tops. Like there is nothing in my wardrobe that would go with these Spider-Man high tops.
Wait, hold on, Spider-Man high tops, the black and red?
No, the black and red are Deadpool.
Where are the Spider-Man high tops?
Scroll down to the third picture. They're on a stack of comic books.
Holy shit! Do you not wear blue ever?
I have jeans.
No. That's not what I asked. Do you own a blue shirt?
Maybe one.
Okay. Do you own a white or red shirt?
Yes, a couple.
Dude, I would legit those Spider-Man high tops. I would wear with super dark blue jeans, a white Oxford shirt, and a sport coat.
And there you go, people. You just got a preview of Josh's version of Queer Eye.
And I was just about to say, it's like Nerd Eye. That's
and I would be fucking money in those shoes.
I would love these shoes. I also
Brian, any white shirt. All you need is you could wear a plain white tee under a fucking like a gray pullover, and you'd be fine.
Okay, well then I will do that. I also really like the Black Panther ones.
Which ones are the Black Panther ones?
On the top picture on the left, they're on a stack of Black Panther comic books. They're just black shoes. They've got the little like gold necklace.
Man, those are dope. They go with anything. They go with anything.
Those will go with anything, which is why I'm like, yeah, I definitely want those. And possibly the Spider-Man ones.
You gotta get the Spider-Man ones. Listen, I'm telling you, they go with more than you think.
Okay, well then I will try to add them to cart. Can I buy these now? When can I buy these?
Yes, you can buy them now.
Where would Joshua, what site would I frequent to purchase a set of shoes like these?
Vans.com, probably.
Let's do this.
You could check the show notes, which will have a link to the store that you could go ahead and buy these. ¿Cuántos? So, Brian, the question that many people are asking right now as they yell at you in your car, how much are these things?
I'm looking at them right now. I will tell you exactly how much these things are. It looks like the Deadpool high tops are $75.
Laura's gonna kill me. I'm buying so many of these shoes.
So it looks like most of the high tops are 75, and the low tops, I guess they're called, are 65. And let's see here. Here's the problem too. I have big feet, so let's try and add these Black Panther.
I wear a 13. What do you wear?
I wear a 12.
Yeah, all right. Big feet. Fair enough.
12 is out of stock for Black Panther. That's upsetting. Okay. Every time we talk about shoes that I want on this podcast, I can't buy them.
So I do want to address one thing and make a mea culpa, mainly to Laura Burns, who did call me out on it, but I just want to clarify for this. I fell for some clickbait pretty damn hard when it came to DC this week. So my apologies for those of you who saw the clickbait and just saw me go bounce on it. But Jeff Johns is stepping down as the DC Entertainment president. He is going to start his own production company, move on to his own projects. However, he will be writing the Green Lantern Corps movie. So it is, in the way, he is kind of going back to what matters, which is just get good source material and not necessarily need him to be a voice of reason within DC, which is sometimes hard to find. So this
which
sounds
he
like
clearly was not being heard.
Right.
Probably why he's stepping down.
Yeah, just going, you gave me this position, no one's listening to me, so why don't I just go do my own thing and sell you stuff and get paid mountains of cash to write movie scripts?
Yeah.
So it sounds like it's a good move for Jeff Johns. It sounds like it could be a good move for DC. And it sounds awesome that we're getting that Green Lantern Corps movie, but man, it's not even written yet. Like, how far out is this movie going to be?
I don't have problems. I don't want to say problems, but they are going to sound like problems. I love Jeff Johns. He is an amazing writer. Here is my thing. As when you fell for this clickbait and I texted you and said he probably didn't have nearly as much input as they probably advertised to him and us, which is probably why he's stepping down, because if he had had the input and his knowledge of the DC universe, we wouldn't have gotten certain things that happened in the DCEU.
Right, yeah.
Here's my other issue. He wrote a script with Ben Affleck for The Batman, and the studio scrapped it. So I'm really happy he's writing a Green Lantern Corps movie. His run on the comic book of Green Lantern was amazing. As soon as he hands it into the studio, how many times is it going to get rewritten and bastardized until we get a Green Lantern movie? Because Green Lantern with Ryan Reynolds, which I still maintain the cast in that movie is fantastic.
Cast is good.
Yeah.
Is
absolutely.
based on his concept, his story. He wrote the spec for that script, and it got completely ruined by the 4 or 5 other writers who continued to mess with it, and the studio let them. So I hope it doesn't happen again, but I'm not very hopeful. Those are my thoughts. I'm not shitting on DC. I'm basing this on fact of things that have happened in the past. And I love Jeff Johns. If you ever want to just pick up reading comic books, Green Lantern and his run on Green Lantern is a great place to start. But I don't know.
It's the voices in DC, are they being heard? And then a guy like Jeff Johns, the same thing you said, he could write something amazing, but once other people, and this happens across multiple movie industries and multiple movie studios, and this isn't exclusive to DC and Warner Brothers. Someone hands in great source material, someone else gets their hand on it, puts a mechanical spider inside of it, next thing you know, you got Wild Wild West. So, like, you gotta just kind of figure out how they're gonna go about this. But in some happy DC news, DC Universe, the streaming service, is planning to launch in August, allegedly. They were talking, there was an interview given by the DC Entertainment community manager, Danny Snow, and she said that they're working on a lot of projects and getting a back catalog of animated TV shows and movies put on there now, and that they're producing 4 original shows and content, including the Swamp Thing, which we had talked about coming to the streaming service. So this is good. This is another way of me throwing, I would assume, $10 at another company for the rights to stream things. But their focus is, we're going to have a lot of comics on there. We're going to have a lot of things that are focused around the comic universe and not so much the live action movie universe, maybe with the exception of Titans. It seems like we're going to kind of lean back into the animated stuff, which DC has done wonderfully over the last couple of years.
You know what confuses me about this? I mean, if they're launching in August, and that's fantastic. Lucifer was just canceled on Fox this season.
Yeah,
after a cliffhanger season finale, right?
Sure.
And Lucifer is a Vertigo property, which Vertigo was owned by DC. It's a DC property at the end of the day. And Netflix just picked it up. literally today, Netflix just revived that show. I don't understand why they didn't say, let's just put this on this DC Universe app. Because you already have the framework. You already have 3 seasons in the can. And you have the cast, you have the showrunners, and you have the writers. Why didn't DC just say, we're coming out with our own streaming service? No, we're not going to sell this property into Netflix. We'll just keep it, and we'll use it as fodder to bring more viewers to this streaming service who can also enjoy a lot of the animated stuff and the Titans show and stuff like that. Like, it's weird. It's weird. I'm just saying it's weird.
I think it's the same reason about CBS All Access and Star Trek Discovery. You know, it's not about necessarily having the fact that we have an exclusive. It's something that a lot of people like. A lot of people like Star Trek. Come by the streaming service, and you're really going to come for the Star Trek, but stay for the other stuff. I don't really think the Lucifer crowd is going to.
But this is different, though. This is different because CBS Star Trek was the only thing that they were banking on bringing people into this streaming service, and DC has a built-in fan base of DC comic nerds that are going to be bought into this. They have a built-in fan base of Young Justice fans that are going to be subscribing to this for season 3. They have a built-in fan base with the Berlantiverse who are going to subscribe to this for Titans. Why not just keep bringing in these built-in fan bases? Lucifer was a cop procedural on Fox that had a lot of fans that had nothing to do with comic books and probably don't even know that this was a comic book property. That if they said, hey, by the way, this was ours, come watch it on DC now, they would get more people into it.
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
It just seems like a smarter business decision to me. And I'm not complaining because I loved Lucifer and I'm really happy it's found a new home on Netflix. But this just seems like a missed opportunity for them for me.
And wrapping up the DC talk, we got our first photos of Wonder Woman in 1984, which included Chris Pine's character. Not really sure how. I'm not really sure how that works out, but
one of three options.
Yes.
Time travel, shapeshifter, or it is his grandson or great grandson that looks exactly like him. And I'm not sure I'm okay with any of those options.
Flashback, vision, or shapeshifter for me. I think are the top.
There's no flashback. The picture of him is clearly in a 1984 building.
Yeah. It's in a mall.
Wearing sneakers.
Or hallucination.
Well, that's a vision. Yeah.
I'm not okay with these options.
Do these options get me Chris Pine in the movie?
Yes, they do, Josh, which I'm okay with. Yeah.
Sold.
I'm all right with that.
I'm not complaining about it. I trust the people behind this movie to make it work, but in my brain, I'm not sure that this is a good idea.
Listen, because as we talked about with the movie industry, Chris Pine will sell a ticket and get you in a seat. So, it's done. Just put him in the movie, and who cares how you put him in there?
No, you know what? I think at this point it has nothing to do with Chris Pine. I mean, Gal Gadot and Wonder Woman will put butts in the seat.
Yep, this is the only franchise they haven't totally fucked.
It did well enough that they didn't need Chris Pine to come back to get butts in the seat to see the sequel.
Regardless of how little or much I like it, it's a solid franchise.
Yeah. So if it somehow does end up to be the Steve Trevor that we know, like he pulled some sort of Captain America and got frozen or remained ageless or something like that, that ruins the end of the first movie.
It really does.
Because she needs to feel that loss to be the person that she needs to be. And if they bring him back and it is Steve Trevor, that entire last act is invalidated.
What if his name is Steve Trevor, but he's the grandson?
I'm not okay with that. Because then, you know why?
I was named after my grandpappy.
You know why I'm not okay with that? Because then you're going to have this entire backstory line of her struggling with the idea of, oh my gosh, you look just like, this guy that I really liked, back in World War I. And I don't need that. We did the love story. We did the, connection between the two. And she lost it. And that was a very defining moment for her character. If we're just going to slip in somebody who just happens to look exactly like him and do the same thing. Too?
She got knocked up, right? The baby comes out looking just like Chris Pine, but she takes it back to the Amazon island, which has some kind of time thing, and it takes longer for it to grow up, and that's how he comes.
Just stop talking.
The answer is, who cares? Let's watch the movie and be like, yay, Chris Pine!
But I have theories.
More Chris Pine.
Listen, guess what? Wait for a trailer. Wait for the movie. Why does it matter how he gets back there? He's back. All right, it's cool. That's fine. Let's just let it be a thing.
If it were Jeremy Renner, I'd say, "Yay, Jeremy Renner!" Which,
by the way,
no different.
Jeremy Renner, come on, bud. You can just hop over for one movie. Come on, just jump in there. See what goes on. It's just. It was a lot of people were like, "Hey, what the hell?" And I know we have a lot more questions than answers, but hey, let's wait for the movie. So, wait for the movie. Finally,
why are you the voice of reason in this?
I have no ideas. I slipped. It's like the Will Ferrell from Old School. We just kind of got done, and then just what happened. I have no idea what happened. I think I defended DC, and I feel queasy, feel uneasy. So let's wrap up with some Marvel news. Let's just talk about something that can kind of be the palate cleanser for me, and that's Luke Cage season 2 got a new trailer, which awesome. I'm gonna watch Luke Cage regardless. But what you guys think about this? And Josh, I want to know what you thought about the music.
I didn't think the music was as prevalent as it was in the previous trailers. However, I think Bushmaster is weird and scary, and Luke Cage should be interesting. But beyond that, it was a trailer.
It looks solid. It really does, and it looks like Luke is going to have to team up with Mariah for a while, which is going to be an interesting story and dynamic.
She's going to die, though, right?
I don't see how she doesn't by the end of this.
She needs to die this season.
I don't see how Shades doesn't betray her or something like that.
Join up with Bushmaster. Oh,
yeah, you know what I'm saying. The old Kansas City Shuffle thing. You know, he's got his own motives. But yeah, I mean, I loved the first season. I liked it a lot more than I thought I would. So yeah, I'm excited. Let's do this. When's it drop? August?
22nd. June 22nd.
June 20th.
Next
Holy
week.
shit. You know, Mario Tennis Aces comes out that day. I'm going to have a busy day.
So, as we discussed last week, E3 just happened, the Electronics Entertainment Expo. It's a big gaming conference where all the major studios and companies come out and kind of tell what's going on. I'll say this. I used to be a huge fan of this event, a huge fan of gaming in general, but over the last couple of years, in my opinion, the conference has turned into a lot of, it's coming next year, and wow, next year is going to be exciting, and the next generation, and everything that's coming out
Look at this
next.
picture of an island, Elder Scrolls 6.
Great.
In 2025.
They did a tease for Bethesda did a tease for Elder Scrolls, and I love Elder Scrolls, but I don't need just a picture.
Yeah, you're not getting that game for another 7 years.
Yeah, so I and the other part too is sometimes they show off a demo, and then when the finished product comes out, it's not like that at all. So it's a lot of baiting and switching, and unfortunately, it's turned into a lot of we promise with little results. However, there were a couple highlights that I did want to mention and a little bit of follow-up for one. So, number one, Josh, was confirmed that game that we talked about with Fallout is going to be an MMO. It's going to be an online multiplayer game. So, I'm in the same mind. I love Fallout. I love Bethesda. I'm not a fan of MMOs.
You know what I don't understand about this decision? You took a franchise that was extremely story-driven and put it into a platform that has no story.
Yep. Everyone's trying to get that
it makes no sense.
PUBG, Fortnite money, man. They're just trying to get these battle royale games out and running. It makes no sense. I will never own it. I will never play it. Even if I can choose just me and my brothers to play, it's not something I'm interested in. So I'm sorry, Bethesda, you lost. I'm very excited for Elder Scrolls, but just like you said, it's going to take me 9 years to get the game.
It's going to take forever. You're going to have 3 more re-releases of Elder Scrolls 5 before Elder Scrolls 6 comes out.
It's very true.
I guarantee it. I wouldn't be surprised if Fallout 76 is your character sits down at a TV at the very beginning of the game, starts playing a game, and it's Elder Scrolls 5. It's just, it's Bethesda just keeps on going back to this horse, and then all they showed us was here's an island and here's a title, and I literally was like, I don't care. If you don't have anything to show me, just don't freaking show it to me. Really, I mean, it doesn't even get me excited.
I don't have anything to say about the game, but I've never heard anyone say going back to this horse as like a an analogy for repeating behavior. So I want to say, Brian,
it was a mixture. It was a mixture of going back to this well and beating a dead horse.
No, I get it, but going back to this horse.
It makes sense. I agree.
It's the same horse.
Turn of phrase.
You ride horses in Elder Scrolls.
Going back to this horse.
The horse's name is Tommy, and he's a little violent. You gotta be careful around him. All right.
But listen, the highlight for me was this. I am now dangerously close to buying a Nintendo Switch.
Yes!
Dangerously close. They announced Super Smash Brothers. What's the name of the...
Super Smash Brothers Ultimate.
Super Smash Brothers Ultimate.
It is the
every
ultimate
character
Super
that's
Smash
ever
Bros.
been
The
released.
gang's all here. Everybody's back, plus new people.
And
new
it looks
people
fantastic.
for me to kill you with, CJ.
I rule at Smash Brothers. And the thing that made me really excited was they announced that there's going to be an attachment, an accessory that will allow the GameCube controllers to work for the Nintendo Switch for Super Smash Brothers. Which,
so
by the way,
I can
is the
ruin
best
you
controller
even more
for this. No, dude.
Don't say no, dude, CJ, because we've proved this. I was recently at your place of dwelling not too long ago, and did you not say, oh, we gotta test this theory, and play me in 4 matches of Super Smash Brothers? Why don't you care to share with Josh and the rest of our listeners how that turned out for you?
I honestly don't remember.
You lost all 4 times. Terribly.
I don't know about terribly. I lost 4 times.
It was pretty bad. And you only don't remember it because A, you have the memory of a goldfish, and B, you are repressing the horrible trouncing you got from me.
Hey, that is not... I'm sorry, what were we talking about?
Exactly. And I did it with 4 different characters. I remember it because I beat you with Luigi and Link and Captain Falcon.
Well,
I'm just saying.
We'll rematch, obviously. That's what's going to happen.
Sure.
That's what needs to happen.
Sure. We'll rematch.
Listen, for those of you who do love E3...
December 7th. Mark it on your calendar, bitch.
I can't use that for the snippet. Can I? Can I use that for a snippet?
Look, I'll film this shit. I don't care. Just get it done.
For those of you who did like E3, who found a lot of great value out of it, that's fantastic. It just unfortunately has turned into a lot of promises and wishes, and it hasn't reciprocated any kind of great feelings. Oh, wait, Spider-Man.
Oh, it's so good.
The only thing that was really awesome too, besides Super Smash Brothers, was some game footage and a lot of hands-on for the new Spider-Man game for PlayStation 4. It looks amazing. Oh God, I'm gonna have to buy a PlayStation 4 too. I'm gonna have no money.
What's really freaking cool is that you played what I'm assuming is the opening scene of the game, where you're chasing Electro through the raft and villains are escaping, and it was awesome. And I can't wait for this game.
Can I pre-order it and then when it launches, buy it? But don't open it and wait for you to play through it and tell me whether or not it's good for Christian, and I can decide whether I'm going to return it at that point.
Absolutely, I will do that for you, sir. I might actually request off of work so I can play this game all day.
Insane.
What's really cool is that after this conference, they actually started releasing online, but in also paper form, the Daily Bugle, and in it they had
great.
Raft explosion villains escaped, and they had like wanted posters and character synopsis for the villains that escaped that you saw in that game. So like Shocker, Electro, Rhino, Vulture, and I'm missing one, Scorpion. They had all these wanted and like little backstories of, oh, this person was apprehended by Spider-Man when they were trying to rob a bank on, Fifth Avenue or something like that. Like, really cool stuff. I can't wait for this game. I actually just I just ordered my PlayStation 4 Pro so I could play it in 4K.
That's great. No, listen, I am all the Spider-Man games have been really good. Even the ones that were like,
even the ones that were bad were still good.
Good games, yeah. So it's definitely something
This is the most Spider-Man I have ever seen a Spider-Man game be.
Yeah, and they've been working on it for several years. So this is a good thing because they teased this last year and said this year, hey, look, they made it up on their promise. Surprise, surprise. So I don't know a PlayStation, so I got to figure out what I'm going to do because I really want to play this game.
Yeah, I mean, and this is all I'm going to say about E3. The things that people are most excited about are the things we actually have release dates for, like Spider-Man, which comes out September 7th. And this is why Nintendo, in my opinion, wins E3 every year for at least the past 3 years, because where every other company is like, hey, here's the thing, we're working on it, we don't know when it's coming out. We also got a release date for Kingdom Hearts 3, which was January 29th. I don't believe for a second it's going to come out that day because they've delayed this game 6 months, 7 months at a time for the past 7 years. So I don't have any faith in it anymore. But I'm excited for Kingdom Hearts 3. I can't wait to play it. But Nintendo comes out and says, hey, here's a game. Mario Party 11 is coming out on the Switch. It comes out in October. Hey, here's another game. Like every game that they said, you can get within the next few months or early next year. And that's what E3 is supposed to be for.
And to give Microsoft a little bit of credit, they actually announced that they were purchasing 3 different studios to try to focus on exclusive and big games. I mean, that's good in the sense of you made the acquirement, but you have to do something with it now. So if you're a big fan of E3 and there's something that we kind of glossed over or something that we just kind of shoved to the side that you think is worth your attention, we absolutely would love to hear from you. And tell us about it. And we'll see if it's something that can excite us as well. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, there are a couple things that we need from you. Yeah, I need your help. I would love if you could take a quick moment, go to survey.thatkindofnerd.com. Tell us what you think about this show, what's doing good, what's doing bad, what your listening habits are. We're not taking this data and selling it. We're just trying to make the show better. We are, of course, giving away prizes for those of you who complete it and put in your email. So we can go ahead and give out some fantastic swag that we have, including some items from Loot Crate that Brian and Josh are willing to give away to you guys, and some That Kind of Nerd official merchandise. So survey.thatkindofnerd.com. Takes about 2 minutes. Tell us what you think about the show. Can't wait to get your feedback on it. And since you've gone to your show notes and you've gone to survey.thatkindofnerd.com, I want to thank you so much for making us your walk around your neighborhood or your drive to work, and we will see you all next week.
If you love comics and sci-fi and technology, television, video games, and fantasy, well, take a listen to our show, I'm sure you'll see there's many points where we can agree. Like that Martha as a plot point was just too absurd, and Apple versus Android is a case to be heard, and that Josh Trank's new Fantastic Four was a turd. Well, welcome to the club, cause you are that kind of nerd.
And Josh, I think I agree with you. More stinger in the back and not a whole lot in the front. Our podcast should be like a podcast mullet.
Dear Brian, how can you tie with boxing gloves on?
Where's the strong bed? Where's the strong bed after dark?
Dear Stuntman, my boyfriend wants to do stuff in the butt, and I'm very curious about it, but I'm very scared. Please help.
My God.
Okay, Maria. I'm gonna call you Maria, even though your name is not listed. Just use a lot of lube, and it'll be fine.
Yeah, man, everything will be fine. You just kind of just let it go. Oh, Brian's editing, so we should say something for him now that he's editing. Hi, Brian. Do me a please. I hope you're wearing like real pants and not just your boxers. Like, I hope you're kind of dressed. It's like my thing with opening presents with people. Like, I have to be fully clothed to open presents for people.
I gotta tell you, I hope he's Porky Pigging it around the
house. Oh God, no.
Just Porky Pigging it everywhere around the house.
I'm afraid you can't do that with cats.
Why not? Cats don't want to have. Look, you're confusing cats with dogs again. Cats aren't getting up in there and sniffing.
Oh, they're not sniffing. They're just clawing. I see it daily.
No, they're not clawing. Come on, like they don't look. They don't jump up to the deepest part of your lap. They jump up to your knees, all nimbly bimbly, and then they jump up onto your shoulder and perch there. That's what cats do. If all the animals at the equator were capable of flattery, then Thanksgiving and Halloween would fall on the same day.
What does it even mean? What does it mean? That means nothing. That doesn't mean anything.
I'm sure it means something.
No.
My favorite quote of all time.
Ooh.
I swear to God, I have this saved in notes because I use it so frequently. Anytime someone says something that contains a couple contradictory statements.
So everything I say.
I respond, no, not you. I respond with the following. On the contrary, I'm possibly more or less not definitely rejecting the idea that in no way with any amount of uncertainty that I undeniably do or do not know where he shouldn't probably be, if that indeed wasn't where he isn't. Even if he wasn't at where I knew he was, that'd mean I'd really have to know where he wasn't. That is my favorite quote of all time.
Then I'm going to get rid of this Vans topic.
We can what?
No, keep it in there. No, keep it in there because last time we talked about
Everybody
Vans.
loves Vans.
Last time we talked about Vans, my mom bought me shoes. Come on.
Yeah, Vans. She bought him the Darth Vader fucking Vans. Don't listen to him. He's drunk on cheese.